We return to X-Men territory today because yesterday marked the release of Deadpool 2. You should remember this case if you've been watching my show. The first movie I did was X-Men Apocalypse. As you can see, this takes us all the way up to Dark Phoenix, if that movie ever gets released. So yesterday I was able to click into place Deadpool 2, marking like there's not just one more movie that I need to get this case complete. There will be no New Mutants in this collection. So Deadpool 2. Well, first of all, Deadpool, the original, is amazing. It is a classic of the superhero genre. It is very possibly in the top 10 of superhero movies. Ryan Reynolds absolutely earns his place alongside like Christopher Reeve, Ron Perlman, Heath Ledger, as far as like bringing comic book characters to life and actually improving on them, making them better than they were on the page. In the page, Deadpool never really did much for me, but the movie is fantastic. It's a comedy, it's a great action movie, and it's actually a fairly touching romance. It is a really great, solid, like 4.5 out of 5-star movie. Deadpool 2 is, in almost every way, the equal to Deadpool 1, and yet I don't feel much for this movie. It's fine. It's okay. It was what it needed to be. It was funny and it had good action to it and it progressed things. And yet, I just didn't really come out of the theater caring much. And I recognized it while I was in the theater, and I think that this is kind of showing my fatigue with movies in general. Did Deadpool need a sequel? It was a great movie. This movie, yes, is also really good. But was it necessary? And there are movies like that where you just look at them and you go, this is fine, but it doesn't need to exist. The plot, Deadpool, his girlfriend gets killed. He ends up in prison, befriends a kid. Cable comes from the future, played by Josh Brolin, to kill the kid because the kid is going to become this supervillain in the future. It's kind of very similar to the movie Looper. And Deadpool wants to go save the kid. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, it's not... it hits all the right notes. Ryan Reynolds is still really great in the movie. And yet, I just didn't care. Because it's kind of the same thing. Again, it's just more Deadpool. It doesn't advance the first film in a way like where they're companion movies, where, you feel like you have to watch them like back to back. Something like Back to the Future, for instance. If I put in Back to the Future, I'm going to be watching Back to the Future 2 and Back to the Future 3. I can't escape it. I have to. Same with like Lord of the Rings. You've got to watch Lord of the Rings. You've got to watch all 3 of them. I can't just pop in Return of the Jedi if I haven't watched the other movies. I wouldn't pick a random movie from the MCU most of the time. Especially like an Iron Man 2 or an Ant-Man, unless I was sort of marathoning them. This feels very much like I'm marathoning the X-Men movies, something I would never do. And I guess I'm watching Deadpool 2. Oh, that'll be fun. But not like where you get to Deadpool 1 and you're like, yeah, it's Deadpool. It's time for Deadpool. Hell yeah. That's how you feel for Deadpool 1. For Deadpool 2, it's like, oh, it's more Deadpool. Okay, cool. Yeah, that'll be fun. It's hard, it's a difficult movie to review because again, it should be something that if I gave Deadpool 1 4.5 out of 5 stars, I should give this the same because I feel like they're pretty much equal. Yet I would give this 3 out of 5 stars. It just feels like an unnecessary sequel that didn't really need to exist, doesn't advance the story in any meaningful way, doesn't complement the first movie. It's just sort of there. So, again, I'm not saying don't see it. It's worth seeing. But I didn't love it. It happens.